Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Doomed Productions podcast, a podcast hosted by Doomed Productions. My name is Zach.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Jordan.
Good job, Zach.
Thank you.
That was your first intro.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising. Today we're going to be talking about Wild Boys 3.
Wow, boys! Wow, boys!
Hey, do you want to get sued? By Duran?
We can't say that yet. One of these days we'll get the rights.
Oh, yeah.
Or one of these days we just won't care.
It's one or the other.
Yeah, it's whichever comes first. If we either will have money or we will stop caring so much.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Wild Boys is out.
Yeah.
Boys 3, the Lost Book of Bigfoot,
Yeah.
which is oh my gosh, your thing's going off.
Yeah. We're busy people over here. We got so much going on. It's a
Yeah.
wild week. Wild stuff. But Wild Boys.
Yeah.
It's a movie. The people have seen it. The people know. Bigfoot's back. I think that's the big thing. Is like
Yep.
the Bigfoot adventures are back. I'm excited about that. I don't know about you guys, but
Yeah.
I get to. My character's at his best when there's Bigfoot material.
For my character, it's just how do I get to Hawaii? Or how do I ruin this for everyone else, I guess.
We found a great. We can get into it later, but your plot device that you have in
yeah.
this movie is great.
That is a
It's,
very fun story.
Yeah, maybe we can kick off with it.
You know what? We could.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
we can talk a little bit about like the planning of Wild Boys. I mean, the people kind of know how these movies get made. It's, I mean, I don't know. You can explain, Zach.
Well, basically, for those who don't know, these movies are entirely improvised by us on set the day of. When
We have
we're
an
filming.
outline.
We do have an outline. We have
Yeah.
a script, so we know what each scene is covering. So we have like a sentence or two, or like a bullet point or two on each scene. Like, okay, here's where the scene starts, and here's where the scene ends.
But the
And
middle.
how we get there is up to us on that day of filming.
Yep. It's
And so
very-
that's how we kind of keep a story structure while also keeping that kind of improv freedom there as well.
it's very fun.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think it's just gotten better as we've kind of gone on.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, we know these characters, I think, pretty well. Not that there's too much to get.
Yeah.
They're very
Keep it
one-dimensional.
easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that structure comes a lot of freedom. And one of the prized gems of this movie was the pickle.
Indeed.
Well,
Jordan, do you
I-
want to
blessing or
tell?
curse.
Blessing or curse.
Yeah, how we found how
Yeah,
the pickle was in it.
let's tell that story.
I'm just
The pickle so if you've seen the movie, again, spoilers if you
Yeah.
haven't seen it, so go see it and then come back here.
you'd be like, a pickle. There's a pickle.
Yeah.
What about this pickle?
In the movie, my character gets a pickle at Goodwill, and that becomes kind of his thing for the whole movie. None of that was scripted.
Not a single mention of a pickle throughout the
Yeah.
entire draft.
When we showed up to Goodwill, the take is in the movie. The take where I see the pickle and I want the pickle.
It was there. We didn't bring it over.
No,
Yeah,
it
no,
was
it was
just sitting there.
literally sitting there. It looks staged because it's the only thing on top of that
was-
bookshelf. It was literally that way when we showed up.
Divine intervention, if I'm honest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm convinced. It was meant to be.
Yeah,
The
it's
pickle god
even though I
has
absolutely-
shined upon us.
Hated that thing during filming.
it was a total like you said, just like magic moment where in improvise where I and that's the thing. I'm not trying to be, I think, kind of sidestepping here a little
Yeah.
bit. When I think we've said it before, but the best way to make a good comedy is, or at least with characters, is don't try to be funny, especially with improvise. If you try to be funny, it's never going to be as funny as like if you just let the character be the character.
Yeah.
And so my character, I'm not trying to think of like, oh my gosh, how to make this funny. Like I'm thinking, oh my goodness, my character would be enthralled by a yodeling pickle. I'm just going to be fascinated with this. I'm not going to try to make any funny, dirty jokes or any. I don't think we go that route. in this
No,
movie.
never.
We really don't.
No.
I don't
No.
think so.
I mean, I think there's like a
You describe the pickle, I think, in certain ways that could be funny, but and that
yeah,
might even
yeah,
be-
you're right.
I don't know if
And-
those are used lines. There's got to be at least once, but
Yeah.
But it's not it's not overtly sexual in nature necessarily. It's just my character just loves this toy pickle. And so I grabbed, like, it could have been anything. It could have been a fluffy doll. It could have been a dog. Like, but like the yodeling pickle would have.
Sums up your character so well.
The
though, in a
yodeling
weird
pickle
way.
was an enigma to him, and so he picked it up and he wanted it, and nothing was going to stop him from getting that pickle.
Yeah.
But yeah, that wasn't in the script at all. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, this is my character stuck with the yodeling pickle now,
Yeah.
which would actually go off all the time, which was annoying as hell.
It's so sensitive. Like, it has this big old button on it.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like you didn't have to hit the button for it to go off. It was
Right.
it was a pain on set, especially like when we were going around in places where we're trying to actually just like get set up and be discreet, and then the pickle would be going off.
The
Like, in your
bit in
pocket.
the museum where it goes off,
Yeah.
that was real.
That was
yeah.
just
Like,
happening.
That just happened. It was like it accidentally went off. I think there were takes where we filmed where it went off when it wasn't supposed to, so we had to redo them too. I know that.
Yeah. Pickles are dangerous. That's what we learned.
Yeah, which is why, I mean, it was so annoying just to have. That's why we got rid of it at the end. I was like, okay, I'll carry it around for this movie, but
It's not coming back.
no, I gotta lose it at some point. But I still, my character lost it. I still have the pickle.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with it.
It's in my hand right now.
Yeah.
I'm not
Maybe
gonna...
another character will like have it in the future.
Well, I think our joke is like at some point your character like Thor's hammer like puts his
Yeah.
hand out and the pickle comes back and he's like
I wasn't worthy before, but now I am.
yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah, I can be talking about the pickle in another. I would be like, I had a weapon that was mine, and I was irresponsible with it, and I lost. That's like Bo-Katan with the Darksaber. I had it, but then I lost it.
You know, it'd be funny if we did treat it like the Darksaber, and that's how it comes. You have to like earn it in combat.
You get a Mandalorian type character who's just like, this is
They're
my
like
pickle.
They're like a Hawaiian warrior, just to make it really your character's thing.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I don't know. This is how Wild Boy stuff happens. This just turned into a Wild Boys plot meeting.
Anyways. Oh, the Hawaiian time thing too. That was
just great.
that was planned, but it wasn't like we didn't think about. I don't know why we haven't yet done it in the other movies, but there's a lot of Hawaiian restaurants near us.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny.
We went
And
to
there's
two.
one that's called Hawaiian time in those letters.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
And that was something where I think going into this movie, we definitely wanted it to be more of a like hangout kind of thing. Does that sound about right?
Be around because in the other ones everything is so isolated.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the first one, it's
It's
all
all in the woods almost,
Yeah.
except for like the beginning. And then the second one is like all at your house basically, except
except-
for the beginning.
yeah, when we go to the park. So this
Yeah.
is like we actually get to see the world these guys live in. It's a very crazy world. I'm sure you've all felt where there's just all these boring normal people
Yeah.
inhabited, and then there's us.
I think that's a through line through a lot of the stuff we've made before too, is like that it's like kids, it's like man children pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like immature.
These are like 7-year-olds.
They really
Think
are.
like grown-ups almost.
Yeah, like grown-ups. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And it's just like, to them the world is an adventure in a weird way. Like they're so cartoony, but the rest of the world isn't.
They're like Calvin and Hobbes characters in a way,
Yeah.
where it's just like everything is aliens popping out, and
Yeah.
then cut to it's just normal people that we're seeing. Or I don't know.
Like I
They'd be
wonder
at home in that.
I think there's probably a way you could interpret, like we've broken the form of like a documentary
Yeah.
in these movies, in the second and third one. In the first one it's like Jasmine comes home and it's the shotgun scene. And in the third one it's the kind of semi video game
The pickle kill.
pickle
Yeah.
cam.
Yeah. Pickle cam.
The pickle cam.
Oh no, what have we done?
The reason I didn't put any more video graphics on it, like video game graphics, is I was just lazy.
Yeah,
I had a lot of going on when I was editing that, but
that's fair. Oh well,
that was, but like
we'll
those,
remaster it.
we broke away from the documentary stuff in that, and I wonder if there's a way you could read into it, like that's not how it actually went down. That's like how they experienced it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like when Jasmine comes home, like she probably did like shoot the robbers.
Yeah.
Like that's not like a wild thing to imagine. But the way in which she shoots them
The
is
John
pretty...
Wick style,
Yeah.
like
Right.
hyper real.
I bet she probably snuck up to the house. She probably was tiptoeing around and she like shot them in secret or something.
Yeah.
Like if we're trying to think about like what really happened. And then the third one, I mean, probably
That's how
Jordan sneaks around. My character sneaks around, and it's really cool, and it's like actiony. Probably what I did was I fumbled around in the dark, and by sheer dumb luck, I knocked them out.
Yeah.
Or like
Yeah.
they tripped over Zach.
Yeah. Anything but what you saw is what happened.
Yeah.
That's just the interpretation of it.
I think that's how. I mean, that's a way to look at those sequences. Is like those are fantasy, breaking the rules kind of thing.
Yeah. I like that. I never thought about that.
I didn't either until just now.
Wow, profound discoveries are made all the time here at Doom Productions.
It's also just funny to
Yeah.
like those sequences and everything.
Oh, they're great. I like this. Each one, I feel like there's just something about it. I'm like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
Like, and each one's different. I don't know. I think we have good variety in Wild Boys. I think part of that's just due to like being able to parody other things.
The first one we intentionally went in thinking Blair Witch, I think.
Yeah,
Second one was like
it was
Home Alone, right?
Yeah, it's basically
Alone,
Home
yeah.
Alone.
And then the third one was Ocean's 11, but very loosely.
It was
Yeah.
more Thor Ragnarok, or not Ragnarok, Love and Thunder. That felt like it had more of a presence in it. But that's
It
just
was more like what was you brought up this movie? What was the movie that was about? It came out in like 2005, and it had like Kristen Bell in it. That was like the dude's going to see Phantom Menace.
Oh, Fanboys.
Fanboys, yeah.
Yeah, it did kind of feel
It's
like
almost
that.
more like that.
Yeah, we didn't have as clear of a direction on this one.
I mean, we went the whole kind of. I don't want to say the script was packed, but we had a lot of ideas that we
yeah.
wanted to get
We had
into
too
this.
many.
Like, just to give you an idea of how many scenes were in this movie. Like, well, there's 50,
There was 50 written scenes.
but
Yeah.
the
Way
first
more than any other.
on the first initial edit of the movie, the moment where our characters arrive at Goodwill, that was at the 50-minute mark.
Yeah.
And that was going through every single beat, and that was with shortening some stuff, but that was going through every single beat, every moment, making sure every scene was in there and all that.
This could have been a 3-hour movie.
It really could have, but it was just a matter of like we had too much. Like, you don't want to hang out with us for 50 minutes and then not have anything fun happen until like
Yeah.
another 30 minutes. Like, you needed to get there like a lot sooner.
Yeah.
It's like it would have moved too slow, and there was a lot of repeating of kind of steps,
Yeah.
of in regards to like, oh, let's do this. No, we want to do this.
Ethan
Yeah.
just
But
being
here,
a terrible friend.
I'll do this for you instead,
Yeah.
and then they move forward, and then something else comes up, and then it's the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, a lot of the same broad
And I mean,
beats.
you still get a couple of those because that's just kind of the way it is
Yeah.
in this story, but you don't have it as often or
Well,
as many.
also just think of Pals too. There's probably like 5 to 10 minutes of great footage of us pals.
Oh,
Different
yeah.
jokes, different moments and stuff like that. In the moment of the movie though, you couldn't do it. It just had to be a couple shots and that was it.
Yeah.
And I think the only real joke that's in there is like, I think there's a Hawaii joke, and I think there's like, oh, I found Thor comics or stuff like
Yeah.
that. I think that's it. Everything else is like, let's just move it along. Let's
Yeah,
move,
where's the
move
book?
this-
It's not here. Get out. Yeah. And the library, same thing. We filmed a lot in the library.
Oh,
There were
yeah.
a lot of bits I remember us filming.
Oh, there's some funny stuff in
Yeah.
there.
Like a lot of stuff that Jordan particularly was looking at.
Yeah, there's a whole bit because I think when in the movie, I think I look at like a Doja Cat magazine.
Yeah.
I looked at a lot of different magazines. I think when we shot that.
Yeah.
And I just picked that one because that was the shortest. Like, it didn't go like it was just a random little, really quick line.
Yeah.
And that was it. Because every other thing turned into like a 5-minute scene of me wondering about whatever was on the cover.
Yeah, we indulge it too much.
Yeah. Which, I mean, could be funny, but I also, like, I don't want to be overconfident and be like, this is hilarious.
And it's not.
It's probably not funny to anybody else except us.
Yeah.
The fact that people like these Wild Boys movies, that's pretty incredible, actually. That's us restraining ourselves, I guess.
Yeah. No, they're very different from our usual thing.
Yeah.
But they're fun.
In a good way, yeah.
Yeah, no, they're just very different. I think it's great. They keep our, I don't know, certain muscles toned.
Yeah.
It's like our filmmaking side that we
Right.
don't usually flex as much with our other projects.
Right.
So we get a good variety.
Well, it feels a little more, I don't know about you guys.
Your family is so loud.
Dude, I recorded a commentary for Two Little Ghosts, and my sister is screaming in the background. Like, how do you stop this?
Did she ever play a ghost?
Like, she did.
Okay, she did. There you go. It's an actor cameo.
She's the loud one in her friend group. Like, it's one thing if like all of her friends were loud. Her friends aren't actually that loud. It's like just her. She's got one friend who's louder than her, but she lives in another state. Thank goodness.
Which is funny because neither of your sisters say a thing in this movie.
That's true. Oh
That
yeah,
is
my
true.
sisters. Yeah, they're in this movie.
That's such a funny bit.
I think that was the big set piece that we had in mind for this movie. Is we wanted. I think the way we've been going about is like we want to introduce new characters in each one, and then they'll appear in the next Wild Boys movie, ideally. And
Or
we knew,
at some point.
Yeah.
right, and we knew
You'll
that the,
definitely be getting more of certain characters
Yeah.
from this movie.
the
near
meeting
future.
scene. We thought that was a great idea to like have a bunch of different people involved.
And it was kind of a fun thing to shoot because we had shot something just like it for Great American Sleepover, our first feature film, way back in 2014.
Years ago.
So it was kind of fun to see like how we do the same kind of thing in the same location, but it's different. It just felt very like, oh, we've done this before.
The beats are all the same. Is like people arrive for a party. It kind of goes.
It
chaos
lingers.
ensues.
Yeah,
At the climax of that chaos, we cut to the meeting,
yeah.
and everything goes terribly.
And everyone leaves. By
And
the end.
everybody
It's just
leaves.
our friends, our
It's
characters.
the same thing.
Yeah.
So that would be a great if there's any Doomed fans out there who want to do some research into like how much better we've gotten. Look at Great American
Or worse.
Sleepover. That's true. It's true. Look at Great American Sleepover. It's I don't know what the timestamp is, but it's near the end of the movie.
Yeah, it's in the last like quarter.
There's a party scene that plays out the same way. It's even the same location.
Yeah, it's same location. It's just I think that one's a little longer,
Yeah.
or at least there's I don't know. I don't even know if it is a lot longer. I couldn't tell you. It's been too long.
Yeah. I think the real gem though, and one of my favorite characters is Caleb Robinson.
Oh yeah, Clive.
Clive.
He's painful. I was talking to Sarah about him last night. She hasn't seen any of this yet,
Yeah.
and I was like, Sarah, Caleb is the best thing in this movie.
He's
No
too
disrespect to anyone else in the movie, but the way he just says, "Yeah, Dune was kind of woke,"
funny. Yeah.
like it kills me.
Straight face. I mean, he was cracking us. Like looking through all those outtakes, like there's lots of moments where he'll say something and we all lose it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone there was just crying,
He
laughing.
did such a great job. I mean, and Nathan, I'm so glad
Oh man.
that we got to have Nathan just straight up play the Green Goblin.
Right. Our little, his little
Not so amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Exactly. If you don't know what we're talking, watch Not So Amazing by RC Films on YouTube.
Yeah, Nathan's in it. He plays an antagonist.
To a Spider-Man figure.
Yeah, and so we just had him be like, it would be funny if he was the Green Goblin in our movie.
Well, I think
And his character's name literally is Will, like referencing
Oh,
Willem Dafoe.
noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh my gosh, yeah, you're right.
It's oh man, that whole sequence is a gem.
look. Sometimes I'm sure Leonardo da Vinci knew when he was painting the Mona Lisa that he was making something that would last the test of time. And I think we did the same with that party scene
party
with those characters.
Yeah, I think that the whole chaos of that whole scene is just it sums up a good aspect of our kind of humor pretty well.
Okay.
It's just
It felt like old Caramel Shark
Crackhead
Studios.
chaos.
It felt like
Right,
we brought
yeah.
back a part of ourselves we haven't done in a long time, and I thought that was really cool.
like to a certain extent. I think we're really drawn to like humor where it's based on like just absurd things going on and there's no real explanation for it. And I think it's not like totally an absurdist scene necessarily, but there's a touch of that
Yeah.
with just everything that's going. I mean, there's the incel who shows up. There's my sisters who don't say a word. There's
The
an
dude
old
who
guy
literally
thinks he's-
steals the vintage TV.
the guy who's seemingly logical, and then he steals the TV, and then Willem Dafoe or the Green Goblin wannabe. There's the Tinder date.
Yeah. This is the setup for all these people walk into a bar joke.
Yeah. It sounds like that.
Yeah.
But it's just like, let's get all these personalities in a room,
Yeah.
and let's just see how terrible it can go. That's
Yeah.
pretty much the idea, the basis for that scene.
Yeah.
Just that chaos.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It was fun.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah. And then
Oh yeah, let's talk about the documentary a little bit.
Oh,
you're
oh,
right. I was about to brush
skipped
right
over.
past it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is a great. Okay.
I can't wait to see people's comments and thoughts about it. But because we're recording this episode before the movies come out, I guess.
Yeah.
Just as full disclosure. So, but there's a documentary that was shot by one of our acting friends, Phil, who's been in loads of our stuff. Like,
well,
backing up even further.
backing up.
Yeah.
How did you become aware of this documentary?
So Phil lives in London. Or now he's moved back. He's back in the U.S. now. He's back in Oregon. So he'll be hopefully appearing in some movies of ours coming forward here.
Yep.
But he had stopped by for a bit. He was visiting family, and I was dog sitting for his family, and he had just left when I came in to dog sit. And his parents were like, "Hey, on the counter is something Phil left for you," and it was a DVD with a Post-it note on it that said, "Enjoy this while you're here,
Right.
Chet Winthrow."
I still have it.
Yeah, you have the disc. I should probably get that back to him. I'm going to see him this week. And it's what the DVD is titled is Kikombo, a Bigfoot mockumentary by Philip Muir and then a couple other people. He made this in high school.
He's never told you about this.
Never once has he brought this up, as far as I can remember. So I'm like, oh, cool. He made a Bigfoot mockumentary. That's so funny that because we're making our thing. Totally unrelated, but he just knew I'd like it because of Wild Boys.
Yeah.
So I go home, I play this on my computer, and I start watching it. And I'm like, wait a second. This is Wild Boys, but shot like 15 years ago.
Right.
Because it's got...
There's a
got
guy
the
with a Hawaiian shirt.
A guy with a Hawaiian shirt, an overly eccentric Bigfoot hunter who's got a documentary crew following him.
Right.
A dude in a Bigfoot costume.
A dude in a Bigfoot costume who's not Bigfoot.
Yeah.
It all takes place in the woods, and it's so over the top. And I was like, this is literally our movie.
Yeah.
So I showed it to you guys.
We literally
Well, you told
reacted
us
to
about
it.
I told you
You
about
told
it.
us about it.
Yeah.
And then when we filmed the reaction scene, when it actually comes out like on the TV and stuff,
We watched it.
That was
We
Zach and
watched
I's
it.
first time watching it.
live, that was
And it's like, I don't think we, and like the most imaginative we could have been, I don't think we could have ever created this. Like, it's
Right.
so perfect.
yeah.
And it was something where, as soon as we heard about it, we were like, well, it's in the movie now.
Yeah.
Like,
We
that's
never-
the story of the movie.
Oh yeah.
We never asked Phil's permission. He
That's right.
still, as of now, doesn't know.
This is
yeah.
this is kind of like
No, he's
the
gonna watch
Bigfoot-
the movie. We need to
Oh, yeah.
watch it with him
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good point. Yeah.
and just get his reaction because he has no idea. I'm not gonna tell him even when I see him this week.
Don't.
I'm waiting for the movie to come
Yeah.
out.
Because that's
He's
the
just gonna
first thing
watch-
you see, too.
Oh,
is
yeah.
you reacting to the preview.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he has no clue. Oh, I cannot wait, and he's gonna love it. He's gonna think
Yeah.
it's so funny. I
Yeah.
know he'll appreciate it. I'm not worried about that.
But that's why that's in the movies,
Yeah.
because we heard about this and we're like, oh my gosh, the movie should be that
That's
Phil
the next
was
step.
Phil was a big explorer. His journal went missing. Ethan wants to find the journal.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the essence of how this all started, because that was kind of like how we started the first one. Was you had a Bigfoot costume from friends of ours from church.
Yep.
And we were like, okay, we could use this in a movie. How do we want to use this?
Yeah, what
and
do
then
we
we
do?
kind of came up with the idea from there.
Yeah.
Because I think just slightly proto like Wild Boys, it was like, well, like a horror or comedy about people in the woods going camping or something like that.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
that was just easy. Like that was
Yeah.
just what we had access to. That we knew we could do something with.
And then we were like, they're trying to find Bigfoot, and that's the
Yeah. And then it was, how do we frame that? It was like, oh, like a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It's all about it, and then the rest is history.
yeah.
Yeah. So kind of same with this one, where we have this video that we're kind of
Yeah.
altering into like a documentary that gets released on TV,
Yeah.
and then it's like, oh yeah, and then there was this book, which is
there's
kind of
no
where you
mention
get
of,
this
yeah.
MacGuffin draw into the story.
Yeah, because that's not a part of the DVD that we were given.
No,
that
that's
was
like-
something. That was our next. That we added.
We added that in with narration.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
a pretty like
That's an easy thing.
it's an easy thing to add in there.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot whenever you have like documentary within your movie, you can add a lot with narration.
Oh,
You
yeah.
could have said like and Chet Withrow had a sword, a legendary sword.
Yeah, it
that
wouldn't matter.
and we could do that in a future Wild Boys movie too.
Honestly, yeah.
Like we could go back and pull footage from that and be like, remember that part in the Chet Withrow documentary when yada yada yada, and we can make up something that'll fit whatever.
Yeah, and just
We will do that at some point in the future.
because there's only
probably.
bits and pieces of it in this movie.
We don't that documentary is like,
like
20
20
minutes.
yeah.
it's
something
longer.
Like
It's like
that.
25, I think. But yeah,
Something
Pretty
it's,
like
long,
that.
yeah.
there's a ton of footage in it.
And so we really just gloss over pretty much everything. There's just a couple lines that are in it that are the same, but it's more of like a cameo Easter egg, really.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
But
really,
there's parts of it that have informed plot decisions down the road for us for
Oh,
future
yeah.
Wild
true.
Boys.
It's true.
Like there's
No,
things
this
that we
has kind of shaped the rest of the saga.
it really has.
And you heard that right, folks. Saga. We're
Yeah,
using that word.
we're not
Yeah.
done.
There's gonna be. There's gonna be
This
9
is not
Wild
just a
Boy
trilogy.
movies.
No.
There will be 9.
Yeah. There's a whole we're in the beginning third. We're
Yeah.
just setting things up.
This is the first act of the Wild Boys saga.
Yeah.
There's so much coming.
2 more acts to come.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait for the next one.
The next one, yeah, we've talked with some
Some
people
talented actors.
some talented people we want
Yeah.
involved. They're down. They're going to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll announce that at the appropriate time who's going to be in it. But
It's big.
it's
Oh, yeah.
it's something that we were very excited about.
Yeah.
We talked about it a little bit, and then these people, and then they were like,
Absolutely.
yeah, and then they yeah. I'm gonna spoil it if I keep talking. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. There's things I want to talk about. Like, oh, it's like this thing we've done. But I'm like, no. Yeah,
Well-
just don't.
We'll let y'all know. But Wild Boys 4 is happening.
Oh yeah, and 5, and 6,
And
and
7,
7, and
and
8, and 9, and maybe more.
We haven't really talked about this much.
No.
I'm guessing Wild Boys 4 will probably be next year.
Next year probably.
Yeah.
I can't see that happening in
probably release
December
it.
or.
I think it would be
November.
a stretch,
year.
but we'll figure out a time.
Maybe
It'll
like
be
early next year.
Yeah,
maybe.
early.
Like in
We
terms of
could-
filming it, like
we
could film it.
It depends.
Honestly, if we wanted to, we could film it at the same time as that other movie.
that's
That-
right.
We could. Yeah, it would just depend.
I mean,
Yeah.
the filming of Wild Boys movies doesn't take that long. This one was
No, it's
definitely
pretty
Yeah.
relaxed. Yeah.
But
Well,
ideally it doesn't.
This one took. I wouldn't even say it took long. The days were just really spread out.
Yeah.
Because we started shooting in July, probably.
Yeah. I mean, with Wild Boys, like they're only usually 4 or 5 hour shooting days.
Right. They're
They're
not
brief.
long days.
That's even pretty long.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of this, the time came in to travel.
Yeah.
We don't usually take once we're there,
Yeah.
the takes take 5 minutes usually, maybe 10. It depends
However
on
long the scene is, that's
Yeah.
how long it takes to shoot it.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll do retakes and then we'll cut stuff out in editing, but that's
Yeah.
that's the scene right
We just
there.
take what we like the most from each take, and
Yeah.
yeah, it just is what it is. And with this one again, we cut out so much and kind of reshaped it from what the scriptment was.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, because we cut out
A lot, it's particularly from the first act.
yeah, which we did in the first Wild Boys
Yeah.
too. The first Wild Boys, I remember it took us 15 minutes to get to the campsite.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, and
We kind of had bloated
the
first
same-
acts in
yeah.
Wild Boys.
because there's a lot of setup, a lot of jokes, a lot of just kind of in between stuff
Just a lot of goofing
that doesn't
around.
really matter so much.
No.
Yeah. And that took a while to figure out how to edit it all together. Because this is, in the second Wild Boys movie, we had talking head interviews,
Yeah.
which we only did in the very beginning.
Yeah.
And then
It
in
helped
this
a ton.
one,
We kind of spread them out.
we
throughout the
planned
story.
to shoot a lot of talking head stuff. And piecing that together was difficult to find the rhythm in the beginning. Because it was like, I would like come in and I would edit like a scene and I wouldn't know where to put the talking head stuff. So it kind of became this point of like when I'm coming into a scene, okay, did this happen in the past or is it happening now? Like in terms of framing a scene. If it's happening in the past, okay, whose interview is it covering? And pretty much you got to watch the entirety of the whole interview too, which took even longer.
Yeah.
Of just like piecing together. But I think we were pretty liberal with the amount of talking heads in this one. The next one, we might have to be more concise.
Yeah.
But they're
We're
not going
learning.
away though, because
No.
they work.
No.
And we're still learning how to use them, honestly.
Right.
It's like our second time trying that format within the Wild Boys stuff. So,
Right.
yeah.
well.
It's ever evolving.
Yeah, yeah,
If you want, give us feedback in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you tell us your favorite gags from the Wild Boys movies. That's actually what I'm curious to know. What do you? So we're recording this before the movie comes out. What do you think people's favorite scene or moment or joke will be?
I think people are really gonna like the pickle
Oh yeah.
at first, and then by the end,
And then
they're
it's
gonna be
gonna be
really happy
obnoxious.
it's gone.
Yeah.
Because that's how we felt.
Yeah.
I think they're also really gonna like, and this kind of tags on. I think every movie, people are gonna be looking forward to the fourth wall break of whatever happens in the end. If we keep doing that, like,
Right.
how do we?
Yeah.
Because there's the shooting, the shotgun bit,
The
and the
action.
second one, and then the third one, it's
pickle
the
cam.
So I
Pickle
think
cam.
people are gonna
Yes.
enjoy whatever like that. Like, I think that's I can't think
If
of a
we
good
ever
analogy.
put these on DVD and have a scene selection, that's
It's-
the title of that
yeah.
scene is going to be Pickle Cam.
Well, it's like how in South Park, how did you kill Kenny in each episode?
Yeah.
In this, it's like what crazy thing happens, and by the end, we get this other perspective from. I don't know.
I don't know if anyone will notice this or if even you guys noticed it, but when I put on the glasses, I put Stitch's voice in the movie.
Really?
You did, yeah. I noticed that.
And for me personally, that's my favorite bit in the whole, because it's so like small, it's like blink and you'll miss it kind of thing. But I'm like, Stitch, and then you hear him go, hi, and then I'm like, kill the lights, and then you hear him from the theme song of the Lilo and Stitch show. I don't know what he says, but he goes bah, 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 or something really
Yeah.
quick. So right as I'm like, kill the lights, you hear him shout, and the lights go out.
Oh,
That's my favorite. I don't know if anybody's gonna notice that, but
I like
that's
that.
my favorite. I think probably people will like the party scene.
The party scene's
Probably
Yeah.
gonna be the highlight.
Caleb, yeah, and all those characters.
I think it's pretty.
I want to
I
know
don't know.
how much people are going to hate my character in this movie, because a lot of
Oh
people didn't
my
like him in the
gosh.
first one, which is fair. He's a terrible friend. You're not supposed to like anything he does.
Yeah,
He's
Yeah.
not a good
he's
friend.
even worse than this one.
He's really bad. He's so bad. Like, I know where my character's arc is going. Broad strokes. I know where he's heading. I'm just hoping people can hold on
Yeah.
and not like want to just kill me by the end.
Yeah.
I think that's just a part of your guy, though. It's
Yeah.
like, that's just in his nature.
It's I know.
I'm interested to see how people react to the injury
He has a
incident.
wheelchair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted so many times in the trailer to put that in because it's funny,
It is so funny.
but it's like, I gotta save something.
Yeah. And I mean, in the trailer, we get a very brief glimpse of like, oh, yeah,
injured.
like there's the headband and
Yeah,
stuff.
and like your arm, yeah. But to the extent,
But you don't know the fullest extent. Like, oh yeah, this guy completely just
this is a broken man physically and mentally by the end. Oh, speaking of the actually I haven't seen the end of the movie yet, so I can't speak fully if this is in there. But the going to the theater, I assume, is in there, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The bit where Zach is laughing and going to the theater.
Oh yeah, I love that.
That part, that wasn't in the script. That we were driving home, we're like, wait, wouldn't this be funny? And so we stopped
Yeah.
at the theater on the way home and just got that pickup.
Laughs are always a good way to cut in or out of a scene. Just
Yeah.
laughing. But Zach's Patrick Star laugh was just too good.
Yeah.
That and the post-credit scene will be interesting too, because we've been leading up to that moment for the whole
Right.
movie.
Right.
And then it's just like, oh wait.
Yeah. Just that another nod to Wild. Well, I mean, even the last scene of our movie is a nod to Wild Boys, because in the or not Wild Boys, Fanboys, because in Fanboys it ends with them going. They're in the theater for Phantom Menace, and then one of them is like, "What if it sucks?" or "What if the movie's no good?"
Yeah.
We thought that would be a fun little reference to throw in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many fun stuff though.
I can't. Did we shoot that before or after Thor: Love and Thunder came out?
That was like that was some of the
Way
last stuff
after.
we shot.
Because we started shooting before it came out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
so
we
we
were
probably
shooting
started
like week of.
We wouldn't
sure
have
it's
been
like a
last
month.
week of June. It was the week that Thor: Love and Thunder came out.
Yeah.
I think that we
The
started
week
shooting.
of the 8th.
Yeah.
I
And then
remember
we
that.
ended up
you
we
actually
shot
went to
that-
go see it,
the
I hadn't.
actual scenes at the theater.
Yeah,
But
that was-
after we came back from the Bigfoot Center.
that was like
Yeah.
August when we shot the theater
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
something like that.
Mid to late
mid-August.
August, like
Yeah, so the
third
movie's
week or
been
something.
been out. Have you seen it yet? Love and Thunder?
No.
Oh, wow.
It's coming out this on Disney Plus. This
See, that's what I was waiting for at this point.
yeah,
It's like, why go pay?
yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah.
We'll watch it at some point. Probably.
What else should we talk about? I'm trying to think of like what. It's hard to like gauge this stuff with like the movie's not even out yet for us.
Yeah.
For us, yeah.
For us, the movie's not out yet, so what
you
will
at
people wanna
home.
hear?
Go watch if you haven't.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See, I want to talk about all the things that are like
That we have planned.
what's coming
Yeah.
next, but it's like, no, can't do that yet.
We'll do it when the microphones are off.
Yeah, because that's the hard thing. Is like we'll be like when we're in it, we're coming up with ideas like
Oh, yeah.
non-stop.
Yeah.
Like every down moment is when we're filming Wild Boys, we're talking about where Wild Boys is going.
Okay, you know what we can talk about? This isn't a podcast. A long time ago, we said that we might shoot Wild Boys 4 and 5 back to back this summer.
Yeah,
We can talk about what that Wild Boys 5 was going to be.
yeah,
Because
you're
that's
right.
no longer.
That's no
I mean, it
longer
might
what
come
it
back
was.
later, but it's not going to be in the next
It's
one.
not in the not playing the role it would have.
In Wild Boys. So we looked at the calendar. I can't.
We were looking up
Bigfoot stuff.
We were
Bigfoot
trying to look up
stuff,
Bigfoot
yep.
stuff.
And we discovered that on July 30th of this year, there was a Bigfoot convention.
In Oregon, like 30 minutes from us,
Yeah, really close.
with like celebrity appearances of like major
And like Bigfoot celebrities.
Bigfoot.
Oh,
Celebrities.
yeah.
Not like Will Smith is showing up to this thing, but
No,
like,
but like
would've
people
been
that like
incredible.
if you're into Bigfoot,
You know these
you
people.
know these people because they've written books, they've done stuff.
heck,
they've
if you
been
watch
in
like the Sci-Fi
documentaries.
Channel or History Channel, you might have seen these people.
Mm-hmm.
Like that level of celebrity is what I mean.
Yeah.
So we were going to shoot Wild Boys 4 before that, edit it, have the movie come out
3,
or whatever.
Wild Boys 3.
Wild Boys 3, yeah, thank you. Wild Boys 4 was going to be us going to the Bigfoot convention, and that was going to be the movie.
We were just gonna shoot it all in one day.
We were going to shoot it all in one day. If we needed extra stuff, we'd shoot outside of it. But we knew that at this, we'd just get a ton of footage at this convention center.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Interacting with people.
Interviews, everything,
Interviews.
whatever we could get.
Presumably, we'd be going there with the book of Chet
Yeah.
Withrow, trying to
Get opinions.
help or
Yeah.
opinions, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And because just the way production worked this summer, it didn't work out. But that would have been real fun to do. We'll have to do that again at some
Yeah,
point.
we may have to somehow find like a way to get a segment of that like as like part of a movie or something
Yeah.
because we do have a plan now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we pretty much know where Wild Boys is heading.
Yeah.
Even when we had that idea, there was still a lot up in the air. But this movie, I feel like a lot of the solidifying ideas like happened
Came
over
from,
the
like,
summer. They happened in
Right.
this.
Between 2 and 3 and during production on 3.
Yeah, like 3 kind of
Particularly.
lays the groundwork out for where we're heading. I mean, I don't think anyone could guess where we're heading based on watching this movie.
Yeah.
But I feel like for us within the Wild Boys logic, it's so clear.
I
It's like
think
this is the only way it could go.
to anyone who wants to know or wants hints, look at the documentary Kokombo within our movie.
Yeah.
Like everything of where we're going is like in that documentary.
Obviously with a lot of flair missing because we have some big stuff.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
you'll see.
We're going places with this.
We're going big places.
And I don't know, probably like one a year, maybe 2 a year if we're lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, I think at least one a year is a good
mean,
pace.
Yeah, I think 1 is probably good.
Technically,
Even if we
2
filmed
came
it-
out this year.
2
we'll be
did.
done with Wild Boys in 6 years.
That's crazy.
Maybe 5. Maybe 5.
Maybe. We'll see. Because we made 2 Wild Boys movies. Or we made
Last
2
year.
last year, but 2
Released
were released
2
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like someone could be shot back to back or relatively close to each other.
And some
Oh,
would
yeah.
be smaller, I'd imagine.
so
like
maybe
a little more.
maybe 4.5 years will be done.
Yeah, we'll see.
Still a good chunk of time. We'll be turning 30 when this is done, you and I, Jordan.
Oh, don't say that. Oh, no. We're not Wild Boys anymore.
No. That's the point.
Let's hope I still look the same then.
Plan to get like in a fire or something between now and then.
No, I mean just like I don't want to look 30 and then be doing this dumbass like
You're Asian, you're gonna be fine.
yeah, Asians don't raisin.
Yeah, you're gonna be fine. It's me we gotta worry about. Zach's still young. He's got plenty of life left.
You're like
in him.
actually the age of the Wild Boys.
Yeah, you're what we should be.
That's always something that I'm curious about, like with new viewers of Doom Productions, is like what ages we look.
Yeah.
Like to people who don't know. So like, because like obviously, if you, well, okay, an example, like when we watched the Seventh movie, right?
Yeah.
By RC Films, we watched that and we're like, oh, they're all like high schoolers.
They
probably.
look young. They look like 17, 18.
And I don't know if they weren't in high school at the time.
Yeah, I don't know.
But they are a few years younger than us. I mean, they think they're closer to your age. Then.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Micah Mays is like a year older than me, maybe something like that.
Oh, really? Oh, that's so weird.
Right. And then, but I also remember hearing an interview with Caleb and thinking, or I think it was their commentary or something. I was like, oh, he's probably like the oldest in the group. He's probably around our age, but no, he's still younger.
They're all pretty close in age.
But yeah, and so to us, we're like,
Even Dan Lotz, I think, of being way older than us.
I thought of Dan, but he's only a month or two older than me, I think.
Yeah, he's like our age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's, but I perceive him as being a lot older.
It's the beard. It's the beard.
It's the beard, yeah. But yeah, so I'm curious what people think about like our character, or I guess us, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
The Dirties is another good example because
Oh, yeah.
in that movie, Matt Johnson and Owen, can't remember his real name, but those two characters, they play high schoolers. And when we saw it for the first time, like yeah, they're just high schoolers.
We were like so inspired. We were like, oh, these guys are like our age.
They
we
were-
were like 16.
they are. I think at the time of filming it, they were like 28, 30 years old. Like Owen was a teacher. Like
Yeah,
he was
taught English at a school.
at one of the schools they shot at, and it was like, wow, okay, it's like that's good. Like if you're that old and
can
in
pull
terms
it
of a filmmaker, because I think a lot of filmmakers when they start out, no one writes movies about like 30, 40, 50 years olds. They're writing movies about people that they
They're either
feel like, which is young
young,
people, like
yeah,
20.
Yeah.
We're like 7 years old mentally in these. And
I know. I feel like mentally, I still feel like 20 years old or 18.
yeah, like somewhere in that 21, 22-year-old window.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel 26. You're almost 27.
I don't want to be 27.
You're getting close. Sarah just turned 26 like last month, and she's like always talking about back pain. I'm like, yeah, welcome to 26. This is what it's like. Doesn't get any better.
Yeah. And it's weird with age and like just the people we've met online and everything. Because again, like it's to think about like when we like I don't know. We'll talk about like when we were in high school, and it's like 2013 or 2014, and
Yeah.
Nathan Cash will be like, "Oh yeah, I was in middle school then." It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
well, that's a weird thought.
Yeah, I don't think about them being drastically younger than us.
No, I think of them as the same age.
Well, I feel like it's because we share like such similar experiences in terms of filmmaking. That's like, oh yeah, we're on the same page in
Right.
all aspects of life,
Right.
and it's just not the case.
Yeah.
Like those couple years, even like that changes like the culture of school that
Yeah.
you were in, like the stuff that was
Right.
happening around you, like because like we didn't have like iPhones even like really when we were in middle school, and like just the culture. And
I think
media was
high
so
school
different.
was when everybody
High
started
school.
getting.
Yeah.
'Cause that would have been like 2010,
iPhones.
2011 for us. So iPhones would be like a big deal.
When did the iPhone come out? Like 08?
2007.
Oh, so.
like
But it was, but
fall
not
of-
But it
everybody.
didn't blow up
wa-
until later.
Yeah, because the iPhone 3 was like the one that had like a camera. It was actually like
Yeah.
usable as like a media device.
Well, and that's when the iPod started, like the iPod Touch became a thing.
I
That's
had
when
one.
that
Yeah, I
started
had
blowing
one
up
of those.
because
2000
people were like,
yeah.
"Oh, hey, we could get these for our kids without having to pay a phone bill." And
That's
it's
why
just
I
like,
got
oh,
one.
yeah.
Because I got the iPhone Touch, the 4th gen, which is the first one with a video camera in it, and that's why I started making videos on.
Yeah.
That's how I started filmmaking. Actually, I think the first videos that we shot, me and my friends, was on an iPod Nano that had the camera on it, and it's terrible.
That's wild.
But when I did that video reacting to my first film, Medical Assistant Who, which is our Doctor Who parody, that's what it was shot. It was an iPod Nano iPod.
Do you still have it?
The iPod, no, was my friend's. It wasn't mine.
Because on TikTok, it's a very popular thing now to like
Have an iPod.
digital, like taking an old digital camera from like,
Oh yeah,
early
digital cameras are having a
2000s.
resurgence. Yeah.
and it's like that's the aesthetic that they're going for is like it's a digital grain.
Yeah, yeah, no,
is
it's
great.
It's
It's cool.
changing because it was like just a year or two ago. I feel like, and it still kind of is like film was like the aesthetic, and now we're like moving forwards in time again. Now we're like the '90s digital, 2000s digital cameras. I see people in downtown every now and again with like a mini DV camcorder. They're
Yeah.
filming around with their friends. I'm like, dude, that's cool.
It's
Takes
funny
me back.
because when I was in high school, I was like, because I think around when I was moving from middle school to high school, that was just when that transition from DV tapes was switching over to DSLRs
Yeah.
for the technology. So I think when I was a freshman or maybe sophomore, I think it was freshman, I got a nice like mini DV camera for like $600. I remember
That's
it.
the one we shoot on still, right?
The GL1,
That was a great camera.
And it was like, but I remember like at the time being like, this is so cool, I love tape and everything. But then the switch happened and I was like, oh no, I'm like, I made it too late, I invested too late. But
Yeah.
it all worked out.
I mean, we still, and luckily that became like our aesthetic.
We still use it.
So, yeah, it's like totally a part of what we do.
Right.
And I was just converting a tape yesterday.
Yeah.
Finally got my tape converting setup put together in my new place. Took me forever. I have like a little station now for it. It's great.
We still got to make a movie where it's just on the tape. Like
Yes.
feature like just hour to hour. Just,
Well, we almost did back with the Video Carnage sequel.
oh yeah, yeah, we talked about
almost
that.
did.
Yeah, yeah.
That
we
was
almost
that's
did.
what it would have been.
Yeah.
Just didn't happen.
Updates on Video Carnage sequel?
Yeah, are there? Not
It's in the
yet.
same place. Like I'm
Yeah.
still like if I have not worked on this. I mean, the second scriptment is done.
Yeah.
In the script effectively, but
I've been starting to think about next project.
might be a good time to transition into what are we working on? What are we watching?
That's actually great. Yeah.
Look at that, a natural segue.
Look at us. Jeez.
It's like we've been doing this for a while.
This is episode 40, I think. Or no.
Is it?
No, this would be 41. Sorry, we're recording 2 episodes at once here, so
Yeah.
September's a weird month. I'm getting married in like 20 days, so
Right.
as of this episode, so it makes everything harder.
Yeah. So,
Humble
fellas,
brag.
what are we working on?
Well, Coalescence is still in production.
Nice.
Things are moving a little slower than I would like to, but getting over a couple humps, and then we'll hopefully finish filming in probably 2 weeks.
Nice.
maybe?
Cool.
That's the hope. We'll see. I'm going camping next weekend, so
Yeah.
that
Nice.
throws a wrench in things, but we'll
Always
see.
makes it hard. Yeah. We're always advocates for like the uncomfortable thing, which is film so much at the beginning when you have the momentum.
Yeah.
Because there's always that dip at the end that's like, that took us forever to figure out.
Yeah.
Even with Wild Boys, the newest one, like that one dragged at the end a little bit.
Yeah.
Just because of
Yeah.
scheduling. It was hard because we had so much going on this summer.
Yeah.
It was the year we were supposed to dial it back. And we forgot.
Yeah. We can't.
We're having a hard time.
Yeah. It's just happens.
Even in our break, it was like taking a break so we could work harder on other things.
Yeah. Jeez.
It was not a break.
No, not at all.
Oh well.
Um.
All right, working on Coalescence. And then slowly working on something else.
Slowly. Slowly.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are. I'm sorting through ideas and trying to figure out structure, but
Yeah. But
Nice.
we'll wait talking about that.
oh yeah.
I got LaDonza stuff. I mean, I'm at a point where I've done what I can with the footage that I have. So now it's just, got to wait till start shooting again. Because our actress is, she's on a trip. And she's getting back on Wednesday.
Nice.
But we probably won't shoot in September just because it's a busy month. So we'll
Yeah.
probably start shooting that in October. There's only 5 more days left.
Of production. Yeah.
Production days. So those
That's
are
cool.
5 4-ish hour sessions,
That's cool.
which you guys will be a part of.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sorry, you guys have been left out on a lot of the shooting. It's just been pain to.
Every time I
Hey,
watch
less
stuff,
we know
though,
going
it's-
into seeing the final product.
Honestly, though,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time I see shots, I'm like, oh,
Yeah. No, there was one that was in
I'm
the
obsolete.
Doomed RC.
the Yakima
Group chat.
thing,
The-
yeah. Oh,
I was like,
one.
oh, that's a cool screenshot.
Oh,
That
which
one.
one?
Oh,
The
the
one
one
that
that
Oh,
you
oh
had-
wait,
yeah.
hold on.
Nathan.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
the big
Oh,
establishing
the
shot.
the editing.
Yeah, like a shot of your
Picture,
computer
right?
screen. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the
Like you
red,
had
one.
your-
Red
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Cool.
I wish all you folks at home could see what I'm looking at. But it's an image. It's an image of things going on. But yeah.
It could mean so much.
I know, but it's not. I'm looking forward to, I mean, hopefully we can finish it before the end of the year. I don't
cool.
see why not, but
It's also okay if it's not.
yeah, it's like this is one where I told myself I'm okay if it takes, or I'll just take it one shoot day at a time. So I'm just prepping for our shoot in October, whenever that will be, and just making sure that everything runs, build up to that runs smoothly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I'm excited about it. The music is been working on that a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's fun.
Nice.
What
Yeah.
about you?
I'm like on the descent from the bell rings a little bit, getting ready to get married. So that's kind of where all my attention's at. So I'm not really thinking about projects too much, though I'm like kind of anxiously looking forward to when I can like open up the ideas
Yeah.
folders and start picking what I want to really focus on.
Yeah.
There's one that where I'm at right now that's pulling my attention in terms of just what I'm going to write next. It's a smaller movie, which would mean it has a higher likelihood of getting made. But we'll see. So it's the Invasion movie.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see if that one happens. Awesome. If I know there's a couple others that could. I mean, I'm basically taking the next several months just to focus on writing.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm gonna let that kind of be where my headspace is at, and then yeah, we'll see what happens next. So yeah,
Yeah.
but getting the bell rings off my plate was like a big like, whew, exhale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's been where I've been at for like a year,
It's fun
and then a couple extras. So
Yeah.
yeah, just happy to be done.
Oh yeah. And then what have we been watching?
Rings of Power.
Rings of Power.
Let's
came
not
out,
talk.
yeah.
We're not
this
gonna
not talk about
this
it
episode's going to be forever if we
Oh
talk
my
about it.
gosh.
Yeah, so it's just something we've been watching,
Thumbs up for
something
me.
so.
I've been enjoying it, having
enjoying
a good
it.
time.
It's good. Yeah,
I won't get into it.
Zach's biting his tongue a little bit.
Yeah.
That's okay. We forgive you.
If I speak, we will be here for a while.
But yeah, we'll be here for a long time if we start opening up Rings of Power. But we watched Rings of Power.
Yeah.
What else have you
caught up.
guys been watching?
I finished the rehearsal finally.
Oh, finally.
We watched the last 3 episodes last night. So that was cool. Very
Nice.
good. Did not end where I expected it.
Yep.
So I'm excited for part 2 or season 2 whenever
Season
that
2
happens.
is going to be wild.
so
I bet.
cool. I think that's all I've watched recently. Yeah. I think that's it. That's it for me.
House of the Dragon has been going. That's been good.
I've heard good things so far from people. I have not watched Game of Thrones since season 1, so
You don't need Game of Thrones to watch House of Dragon.
that's
don't
what
think.
No,
Because it's
prequel.
before.
it's before.
So you could start it if you wanted.
170 something.
I don't want to have 2 fantasy shows going at once though on my watch list.
Oh.
So I'm gonna watch it once maybe Rings of
Waiting
Power
for
stuff.
Rings of Power to be over.
Yeah,
Or
once-
to pick back up.
Yeah,
again.
because there's only 6 episodes of Rings of Power. I'm
Yeah.
assuming House of Dragons could be longer.
It's
I think it's like 8.
8 something
Yeah,
like that.
10,
That's how many
something like
episodes
that.
they've been doing.
I can wait.
Yeah.
I'm not invested in that world, so I can.
Right.
I don't feel bad putting that off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also watched Over the Garden Wall. That's another thing I forgot. It's
Good
that time
fall
of year.
watch. Yeah.
Yep, it's that time of year.
Yeah. Anything else, Zach?
Not that I can think of. No, I haven't had much time for watching stuff.
Yeah.
Other than
fair.
like, oh hey, this came out, I'll watch that. Oh hey, another She-Hulk episode, Rings of Power, stuff like that.
That's right. She-Hulk's coming out this week. Yeah.
Shows have been easier to watch than movies recently.
Yeah.
I agree. I've been
that's-
watching more shows.
Oh,
than
I
movies.
finally started Breaking Bad.
Oh,
Oh,
what a
wait.
coincidence.
Yeah.
Because I've been rewatching it slowly since Better Call Saul ended.
So this is your first time around.
Yeah, I hadn't gotten around to it yet,
Oh wow.
so I've been watching that with my brother.
Where are
and
you
my
at?
Family.
Yeah.
We're on like episode 5 of season 1, something like that. I think.
Oh, so it's like one of the last episodes of it. Yeah.
something like that.
The
Yeah.
first season's short.
Yeah. It's like I don't know how.
What do you think so far?
I'm really enjoying it.
Just you wait, buddy.
Right answer gets even better.
I've been rewatching it slowly. I'm on season 2. I don't want to spoil anything for Zach. I will say it's been fun rewatching it, or not fun rewatching it. I'm watching it and I'm noticing different things about like the characters,
Yeah.
and I find myself really emotionally distressed whenever there's a scene involving Walt or Skylar. And it's not like, I just feel like it's like, okay, it's like if you went over to like your in-laws' house and your in-laws are all arguing with each other and they're getting really mean and fighting and passive aggressive with each other, and you're just there on the couch and you have to be there, and then
just like,
you're just watching time, like eventually I gotta go, I get to go at 8 o'clock or whatever, you know. That's kind of the feeling I get when I watch scenes with Skylar and Walt. Like because I'm just like so emotionally just like, oh,
It gets under your skin.
it does, like, because I'm just like the domestic problems in that show, like the character's face is just very kind of like, oh my gosh, like,
And then there's everything else.
So like I'm watching it and I'm really connecting with like Hank and Marie, and they have domestic problems too, but I find it much more.
Yeah.
It's easier to get attached to those characters for me, like emotionally,
Yeah.
or like Walter Jr.
But it's in such different places.
Right, exactly. And then like knowing where different characters end up, that enhances things in other ways, like knowing what's going to happen and all that.
Yeah.
But
I remember rewatching it with Sarah like a couple years ago. I want to
Yeah.
go back. I need to watch Better Call Saul first before I go back on Breaking Bad. I also need to watch El Camino still.
Yeah.
I might watch that first just to
They're
get
so
back
good,
into that
yeah.
world.
But yeah, it's I've been surprised upon rewatching it, just like how emotionally distressed I've become. Just like this didn't used to happen when I watched the show. I used to like really get into it, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I know. I work with kids at school who are like that kid, and it's like, oh, who have parents like It's like it's really hard to watch sometimes, but it's a great show. I think it's one of the best shows ever. But
Yeah.
yeah,
We'll keep us updated on your thoughts.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
We'll be very, very excited to hear what
yeah,
you think. That's a great show.
yeah.
Stands the test of time very well.
Yeah. Well, folks, that's I think that's a good place for us to wrap up.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Like always, like, subscribe if you enjoy this episode of the podcast. You can find our social medias in the description. Yeah, make sure to tell your friends about our podcast if you enjoy it. You know?
And watch the Wild Boys movie if you haven't seen it already.
Watch
it,
Wild
yeah.
Boys,
Watch
watch The
Wild
Bell
Boys.
Rings. Two Little Ghosts is coming out soon.
Yeah,
in
we-
October.
A big old platter of movies that are dropping here. So
Keep an eye out for the trailer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
and then more on the horizon.
Exactly.
yeah.
So until next episode, have a good week.